Watch me go down. Down. Watch these bands make her go crazy. Go ahead, show out for me, baby. I'm from Houston, so I keep a rocket on me. I ain't changing. I know this shit take patience, but sometimes I get impatient. I'm better when I'm chilling. Please don't get me Kanye crazy. My life's a movie, cameras always rolling.
Books all on the table, man. All type of different books on the table.
Flexing literature, man. Y'all be flexing these cash and stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
They make money.
What's good, YouTube? This is the OTM YouTube channel. This is your CWO speaking. Listen with Tim, aka your favorite gym rat. Today we have our COO, Mr. Deja Conway. He is a man of many talents. He is a man of many gifts. He is a man who is leading the charge for our generation, for the next generation. So we got a few questions we're gonna ask him and just get to know him better, because it's important that we learn from those who are ahead of our time. So that way we can continue to transcend and chase them, not as in a way that's jealousy, but in a way that we can continuously develop ourselves. Mr. Jah Elliot, Mr. Deja Conway, how you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling good, bro. I'm always feeling good, feeling great. Blessed and highly favored. Blessed beyond belief, actually.
For sure.
Of course.
So, who is Jah Elliot? The people want to know.
Who is Jah Elliot? Jah Elliot is just my alter ego from, my name Dedrick Conway.
For sure.
Jah Elliot is my alter ego. Jah means God and Elliot means bothfully graceful. So basically I'm God with a bothfully graceful pen. So that's in my author name, and I also put it into my art.
That's beautiful. Because, I love how we're starting off on a authentic and clear way, because that's what truth is about.
Yeah, fact.
So my question for you is, what is the difference between truth and fact?
Truth is necessarily the collective opinion, and fact is absolute. So 2 + 2 will always be 4. That's an absolute. But also, some people say 2 + 2 is not 4, which is a fact. In some ways, depending on what type of math you like. You know what I'm saying? So, and you are a math major, so in finite math, it might be a little different.
Indeed.
Am I right or am I wrong?
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. So since we're on the topic of math, I want to talk about your experience and your design when it comes to constructing literary equations. Like that's kind of combining two subjects, though. It's kind of contradicting. Like taking literary writing, reading comprehension with the analytical mindset of math. So your concept of literary arts blends mathematical reasoning with literature. Can you break down that work of practice?
So basically, equationism, it was something that I thought about after my 8 years of being in the publishing industry, and after my 8 years of being a writer. What I realized was I hadn't seen any book that actually had any logical frameworks to where you can find the absolute, which is something that's true. So I personally felt like if you blend math and literature, it can actually create more logical frameworks, as opposed to something that would in terms of philosophy, it would add more questions. So somebody say, what is life? It's abstract, so it's gonna, even if you answer the question, it's gonna bring more questions. But with literary equations, if you say what is life, which my thing about what is life is that life is nothing but existence in motion. We always moving. That's the absolute about life. Nobody can say anything different. But if you say what is life, and you say, oh, life is just this I don't even know what word you can even say. Life is just this.
I like to say life is one big science experiment, because the past is what you're built off on. It's your foundation. The future, you don't know what to expect in the future, but the only thing you can control is the present.
Facts.
So I like to live by my mantra is every day is day zero. Control what you can control.
That's very true.
That's beautiful, though.
Yeah.
So in terms of motion, though, tell me about your upbringing. Tell me about your childhood, because everyone has a different foundation. So tell me a little bit about where you're from.
I like how you say that, where I'm from. So, I mean, unlike most, say most black kids, black men, I had both of my parents in the household. I had a loving family, come from a big family, so I actually experienced love, respect. Then my dad, shout out to my dad, he really taught me what hard work is. My mom also taught me, the importance of being smart and also using your mind. So my upbringing was cool. Anything I ever wanted, I could get. I'm a simple kid, simple man too, so I never really wanted anything outside of as far as clothes and shoes and materialistic things. I never cared about that. The only thing I ever been into growing up was computers, cell phones, books, games and outdoor shit. Trampolines, and 4-wheelers and stuff like that. Things I still do to this day. So
Yeah.
I feel like I had a decent upbringing. We weren't rich or anything like that, but it was cool. My parents made it cool for me, and they also believed in me too. That's why a lot of things that they went through and a lot of sacrifices they made. That's why I work so hard now, like to be able to show them that like it ain't never gonna go unnoticed. So.
Nah, I resonate with that very well because I had a similar upbringing. Like I had a younger sister. Me and her had a great relationship. My mom and dad are still together to this day. So seeing that example of love, and that's very rare. It's very rare that you see that. Not too many people have that example or had that example growing up. I've been reading your books a lot lately. So in one of your books, I can't recall the title, but one of them you talked about the statistics and the impact of children growing up in single-parent households.
Oh, that was Universal Literary Arts, bro.
That is correct. That is correct. So, in terms of the future of the youth,
yeah,
how can we as Black men be able to be that role model, be that big brother, or be that big sister to those who don't have that duality of parenthood?
The answer to that question is simple, and you wanna know what it is?
What's that?
Just be present. Ooh. What I mean by being present, it's a difference between somebody being there and somebody being present. It's a lot of people that's there, but are they present? I can give you a prime example right now, even with OTM. Like Chino just not only is there, he's present, he's active, he's working, he's ensuring and making sure everything is going on. So when you're actively present in somebody's life, that's what changes everything. Because even with another example would be friends. A lot of your friends will go out and party with you. They'll kick it with you. They don't mind having fun, but are they present when times get serious? Are they present when you're trying to elevate your life? Are they present when you just start out that business? Are they going to support things? So that's how you know. So just being present and showing up every day, regardless of what you have, the relationship you have, as long as you're showing up and you're being genuine, then that's what's going to change everything. And that's all people need sometimes. They just need somebody to be present. They don't even need a lot of people. They just need one person.
No, I completely resonate with that. And it takes someone being able to communicate, and I think that's the rarest skill in today's society.
Who we on, Tim? Who we asking?
Man, I want to talk about your college career, man. How has that really impacted your author career?
When I got to college, fresh out of high school, one thing that I knew I could do was do other people's homework.
Oh.
And one of those things I could do was write essays. So my first week in college, I had wrote my essay, and the teacher was asking me like, "Do you have any writing experience? Do you have any, literary experience?" But it was more so just the simple fact of like I had been writing all through high school, but I couldn't pay to do their homework because everybody at Lamar for some reason was serious about school, but I just couldn't make no money. But after my first, I want to say, week and a half, and Trail is my witness to this, my college roommate, my power lifter, my workout buddy, you know what I'm saying? Like I started writing essays, bro. I was charging $20 for a 5-page essay.
Wow. $4 a page.
Exactly. After a while, it started picking up. And I'm like, let me up it. The highest I went my freshman year was 140. So imagine 140 times 7. I'm in school writing essays, making money off of that, including telling people like, if you got mathematics, if you can do my math homework, I'll do your essays for free. It's really like a gateway to get anywhere. Like I'm a man of many degrees. That's from engineering, English, philosophy, communications. Like any school of they went to, I could write the essay.
Yeah.
So it impacted my career because it was like I can be consistent with it, and I'm also learning for free. They're paying $50,000 in total for this degree, but if I'm learning from many different spectrums of education and many different disciplines, it's like that's making me smarter, and I'm also getting paid from it. So who really need a degree, you or me?
Now I want to touch on the topic of consistency, the art of duplication, the concept of repetition. How can someone who is early in their college career leverage that in order to be successful? Because 4 years of college, it's a ride. Like I done been to HBCU, I done been to college 4 years. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah,
So how can you provide that for someone who's early off in their career?
Once again, you got to understand your why. Like, are you doing this for you? Are you doing this for your people? Are you doing this for validation? Like, and mind you, your why tells you everything. So for me, it was like my why was like I like learning, but I don't like school. I'm an autodidact, which means is I like teaching myself, because the way somebody teaches you something, that's the way they learned it, but that's not how the way what works for them may not work for you.
That part.
So what I learned early was, and it's also come from like me being in middle school, it's like even with math, I'm not really good at math, bro. I hated math, but the way that our teacher was teaching me, and also, bitch, fuck you. With your broke ass. But anyway, the way she taught us was so traditional, it wasn't modern, so it was kind of hard for us to learn that shit. She always told me, like, you never gonna be good at math, and you never gonna make no money. But, you know what I'm saying? Nigga done did that. So it's like, who was really wrong? You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those type of things, but I learned it early on. Like, you gotta be able to teach yourself, and also being consistent is what is your why. Like, I have a why behind writing these books. Like, I believe in learning, but I don't believe in traditional education. Never have. And it's a lot of niggas with degrees who at home right now broke. Who at home with no job, who at home who confused, who at home and just this wimble between should I survive or should I thrive? I don't want that to be me. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, it's like, how can you do something for 5 years and get nothing? And I've been doing this for 8 years, no schooling, and got more than enough. That's why it's kind of hard for me to connect with people who have that big final education, but it's not benefiting you as a person, not me, but you as a person. But that's no disrespect to nobody. Not saying that to you, him, but that's just how I feel about it. It's like, what can you really do? But also, I started early though. If you started something when you 17, you know what I'm saying, it's 2025, that was 2017, it's like, how could you not expect something?
1000% true. And I really want to touch on the aspect of education. And I'm a firm believer that education starts at the home.
Facts.
It starts with your parents. It starts with, even if you don't have a parent, you at least have some type of older role model, whether it be your uncle, whether it be your barber, whether it be your coach. And before, you said that the benefits of having a coach is so crucial.
Yeah, facts.
And you talked about your teacher saying, oh, you'll never be good at math, you'll never make any money off of it. But that's so contradictory, because math is the foundation of pretty much all things. Even there's numbers in literary text, there's numbers in books, you have page numbers, you have the amount of words that's on the page, you have even a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Facts.
So my question is, why aren't there more coaches?
I'll answer all the questions. I remember what you said. Hold on, don't cut this out. When it comes to coaches, or when it comes to anything in general, a lot of people are afraid.
So, Dedrick, if you could give your name a definition, what would you give it?
Give my name, Dedrick, a definition. Is that personally or generally speaking? Or both?
Both.
Personally speaking? Personally speaking, I give it vibrant. You know what I'm saying? Generally speaking, though, I give it power.
How?
It's actually, well, my last name is German, but Dedrick, I don't know. I feel like it's unique. It's unique to me, not just because it's my name, but I don't know nobody named Dedrick for real. But it's with, you know what I'm saying, they're doing it how I'm doing it, so I just say vibrant, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. I actually that just because I've been reading your book, Universal Literary Works, and it's really a dive deep into who you are as an author, at least in my opinion. After I've read, maybe this is my third book that I've read by you. And in the book, you talk about grief.
Yeah, facts.
And my question to you is, how would you describe grief to your 12-year-old self?
to my 12-year-old self, me experiencing grief on many different levels, which is also what empowered me to be an author and drove me to be an author, is powerful. But how I would describe it to my 12-year-old self, I would tell myself grief is something that you're gonna live with forever, but it's the difference between getting over something and going through something.
There it is.
Grief is something that you're gonna always go through. It's not something you can get over. So, for example, if I spill this cup over right now, I can get over that. But in a real life example, one of my closest friends now at a young age is like, that's something I got to get through. Through writing books, that's something that I got through. And also that was what empowered me to actually write a book, which was my first book, Twisted. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, life is actually twisted. You never know what's going to happen in the next moment. Never. So it's just one of those things that I would say, but also it takes time to actually come to terms with grief. Mm-hmm. And to a 12-year-old in one sentence is that, like, you're going to understand it. Not now, but you're going to understand it later. Simplest thing that I can say.
No, that's beautiful. And I can completely resonate with that. Follow-up question.
Yeah.
What hurt worse? Losing a friend or losing a family member?
I think in terms of my life, and in my case, I feel like personally, it's going to sound crazy as hell. If it's not an immediate family member, if it's not like my mom or my dad, my sister or my brother, it's always the friends. For some odd reason, hurt a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Simple reason that you didn't grow up with them. They didn't necessarily take care of you from the start. You cultivated a relationship with that person. Mm-hmm. Mind you, in the case of, you know what I'm saying, basically you could say my little brother was that I pushed him on a swing. You know what I'm saying, taught him how to ride a bike, and then miraculously over a course of years, in a simple situation, he dies. It's like it hits harder because it's like what could I have done to prevent that? Even if it has nothing to completely do with you or an action that you made or a decision that you made, it still hurts worse because it's like if you're still here, you're gonna deal with survivor's remorse. Mm-hmm. Also, me being able to, even with my career and my life and me still living life and having fun, it's like he's supposed to be here with me, but he's not. So in some cases, depending on the relationship, most importantly, it's always gonna hurt more with a friend. But as far as family members goes, it's obvious. But a friend, sometimes it hits a little more depending on the relationship. Nah. That's just me personally speaking.
1000%. So, Mr. Conway, what's next for you in Equationism? Any upcoming books or projects that will further expand your concept?
So we got literary equations, applied equationism, the me model, which is a book about how sales companies or cults in general try to manipulate their people. So the bite model is basically behavioral, and then you got informational, you got thought, and then you got environment. They try to control those four things. Those are the four elemental things with success too. So when they control those things, they actually control you. And what you cannot criticize controls you. We can't criticize our government. So guess what? They control us. So with the me model, it's more so centered around, like, when I say me as a person, like, how do I feel about it? So you got manipulation, exploitation, you got money, expansion, then you got expansion, and you got monetary gain, which monetary gain and money expansion are two different things. So it's breaking down, like, the mythology and the framework of how the way they control people as opposed to the general aspect of manipulation. You have good, you have bad manipulation, but bad manipulation 10 times worse than good manipulation. So somebody telling you, hey man, you worth it, that's good manipulation. Somebody telling you, man, you can't do that shit, nigga, fuck you. It's bad manipulation. But that bad negativity hits harder than being positive. It's hard to be positive, it's easy to be negative. So that's kind of the fine line I'm hitting. Mm-hmm. It's like what me, meaning you as a person, believes in. So that's the upcoming project. I posted on Instagram today. It might drop Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday, maybe next month. It depends on how I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying? But I got a lot of other books in between. But Equationism is definitely the forefront, using mathematics in books and also applying mathematical concepts and symbols in books to ensure that people get an actual framework of what's actually going on and being able to interpret everything differently, as opposed to just like seeing it and just like, damn. Nah, it's seeing it and like actually building a solution for it. Everybody is problem orientated, but not many people are solution orientated. A nigga will give you an excuse before he give you an example. They both start with an E. It's easy to give an excuse, but can you give an example? That's how I judge niggas a lot of time. But that'll let me know if you got hustle or if you don't. That's nothing personal. It's nobody I know. This is how I think. That's a literary equation.
For sure. So I want to really touch on your vast imagination, because as you can see by your last catalog of books and literary products, you clearly have a very large imagination. So I want to, what impact did anime, Japanese cartoons, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, did those have on you and your creative projects?
To the anime heads, I feel like Goku going Super Saiyan, Namek Saga actually was when, you know what I'm saying, Frieza killed Krillin, to let you know how much my intellect is on this. It just showed that you don't know how strong you are until you have to be strong.
That part.
And when he went Super Saiyan, and mind you, it was a duration of a battle, but he still won. And he escaped. And he went home. And then guess what? When he went home, guess who went? Trunks. Then you had Vegeta. And then you had everybody else going down the line, going Super Saiyan, which was rare in their bloodline. They were the only ones to do it. Besides Bardock in they special episode, but other than that, that's an anime example. But it's just like, if you could be able to inspire other niggas or people, we gonna say, to do what they want to do, and you're giving the example. If they're not taking the example, they're just not doing it. If they're taking the example, they're doing it. It proves a lot. What you do proves a lot to who is around you. There is no question about it. There should be no explanation about it. If there's an explanation about it, once again, that is an excuse. But how many niggas can give you an excuse, and how many niggas can give you an example? People gonna hate me for it. People gonna agree with it, and people not gonna like me for it. You know what I'm saying? Even, and especially the people who don't like me for it. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna accept that. But that's just the truth. So that's it.
Mr. Conway, I want to thank you for blessing us with your wisdom and your knowledge. We are definitely anticipating what you have to offer for the world.
I know nothing. Just remember that I know nothing.
And one last thing, give the people one last piece of knowledge.
My hair was growing out of afro, so, and it's like every time I grew an afro, I would always cut it off because it's like I didn't want dreads, but it's like it's meant for me to have them, so I'm gonna keep them.
Yeah.
And actually, I feel like my dreads give me power, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Depending on my style and how the way I got them set up, or whether they in barrels or 2 strands, or depending on how they across my head, that's how I'm feeling as a person. Right now, I'm 2-stranded. You know, I'm feeling good as a person. You know, I want them to hang, but I don't want them to hang too low. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's how I feel.
For sure. I asked you that because everyone's start has a purpose.
Yeah, fact.
So I started my locks about 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
2 years ago.
I started mine out of depression, honestly. My bro had died, and I couldn't find a barber. So
damn.
I was just walking around, just being, you know, nappy and wavy, I guess you can say. And yeah, bro, I ain't gonna say depressed, but it was low for me. You know what I'm saying? Also, my roommate in college had to end up getting kicked out of school, so it was like, damn, like I ain't saying I wasn't taking care of myself, but it's like my hair wasn't a big important. As long as I was clean, my teeth was clean, for sure, and I smelled good, that's all I cared about. As far as my hair, I just let it grow, and now it's like, this is a journey of progress, you know.
No, I really want to stay there because I feel like our hair gives us our identity.
I just personally feel like, in the age we live in, social media played a big factor in the perception of how the way you view somebody, and also, secondly, it's like, nobody has their own thoughts anymore. Nobody has their own interpretation of anything anymore. Nobody has their own way of doing things, because it's always like, even with social media, I'll give you a prime example. My homegirl told me, like, when you post stuff like that, people not really gonna like it, but it's like, if I think about how the way other people are gonna think about something that I post, I'm giving the other person more power. I'm the one doing this, so I'm gonna give myself the power to do it. I don't care if you like it or not. You wanna know why I feel that way? Because ain't none of y'all finna whoop my ass. Ain't nobody finna shoot and kill me. So if you feel that way, then come kill me or come whoop my ass. The conversation dropped. They don't want to talk about those things. And also, I believe that the way I was born or blessed here, that's how the way I'm leaving. If God gave me everything that I need to have, which He actually did, and I firmly believe in God, whatever the way God made me, anything that I altered, that's off of destruction. That's not off of creation. When women go and get their bodies redone, that's your creation. That's not God's creation. So I'm not fascinated by the BBLs. I'm not fascinated by the shoes you wear. I've never been fascinated about that. Who are you as a person? How well can you carry yourself as the person you came to be? But I just personally feel like people who are actually comfortable with themselves don't mind being themselves. People who aren't, they try to find ways or excuses to not be who they are. Simple as that. To accommodate other people who don't even know what the fuck is going on.
External validation.
I don't want that. I validate myself.
That part.
And lastly, and what I want everybody to know here in this interview, that's from everybody in the background, everybody who here, you know what I'm saying, is that how could you not be comfortable with yourself if your decisions and your choices make who you are? If you can't be comfortable with who you are and the choices that you made and the time that you had here, it's a problem with you, not the world. Simple. Everything in life happens based on your decisions, bro. Anybody who tell you any different, they a liar. He or she is a fucking liar.